welcome. Let's button those jeans again. I am Rose Stein, and I am super excited that you are here today because we are going to be talking about the 3 places that you need to lose weight before the weight is going to stay off of your body. Now, have you ever wondered why you can lose weight just to gain it back again? It's not what you wanted to do. It wasn't your intention, but yet you ended up doing it anyway. And you ended up frustrated and disappointed and annoyed. Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why. Because first, you need to get the weight off of your mind. You need to release it from your shoulders and you need to eradicate it from your heart first. All right, so let's get into it. First, let's start with your mind. It's the way that we think. It's all of that negative thinking, constantly judging ourselves and speaking to ourselves negatively. You know, I was walking down the street the other day and I caught myself like deep in some negative thoughts. Man, I spend so much time thinking about my own ass. I mean, can you relate to that? Thinking about my clothes and my body and this inch right here and how my skin is, it's too white. I need to tan it a little bit. And my nose is a little bit too big. And what about those clothes? And it's not really the right color. And maybe I should go over here. Maybe I should do that. And I need to do this. What are people thinking? And if I could just have all of that time back, I mean, that is a lot of time and energy spent, hours every single day thinking about my own ass. But I could probably take over the world if I could just have that time back. I mean, that is a tremendous amount of energy. Now, the first step to releasing the weight of all of this negative thinking on our mind is simply awareness. Now that you have just learned and heard me speak this into reality, you're going to begin to notice your own negative thinking more too. And at first this might concern you like, oh my goodness, like now I have more negative thoughts, but it's actually, you're just going to be noticing them more. It's going to be less on that autopilot and more in your conscious awareness. Now, this is actually really good. It's excellent because that way you can change. Because what it is that you're unwilling to see and hear and experience or notice, then we can't change it. So as soon as you notice it, thank your inner being for making you aware. Thank you, God, for bringing this up so that it can be healed. It's one of my favorite prayers. And then say next, or cancel, or even stop. And immediately think of what the opposite of that negative thought would be. So repeat that as many times as necessary for the automatic second thought to be that is positive. I know it sounds simple and silly. Well, so is constantly thinking negatively about yourself. Just stop. Just do this and see how much better you begin to feel. Now, the second place that we need to lose the weight before it's going to stay off of our bodies is our shoulders. Right here, ladies. The weight of the world that we carry on our shoulders, ladies, is too heavy. Taking care of everybody else first, the coworkers and the kids and their feelings and what they need for food and what they want to do, the neighbors, the PTA. I mean, the list can go on and on. It's a lot taking care of everybody else in the world. But where are you on that list? When we're taking care of everybody else, we often feel and think like we're doing the right thing, but we just end up feeling heavy. We've got to release that heaviness, the weight from our shoulders before the weight is going to stay off of our bodies. Now, the best way that I know how to do that is to start small. Now, too many times we freak ourselves out by putting too many things, all these boundaries up, right? I'm taking care of myself. It's self-care, right? And we put up all these boundaries all over the place, trying to force ourselves and others to change everything all at once. Now, real change, it doesn't happen like that. It's more subtle. It's softer. It happens in the quiet moments of your mind when you're all alone. Now, I suggest starting with 3 minutes first thing in the morning. Sit up in bed. Now, of course, go to the bathroom, maybe have a sip of water if you need to, but then grab a nice warm blanket and wrap it around you and sit silently and quietly, taking in a few slow, long, deep breaths, just for a few minutes. And repeat to yourself as you breathe in, like a mantra, Breathing in, so. And breathing out, hum. And breathing in, so. And breathing out, hum. Now, this is a very small practice, but if you begin to do this consistently and with intention, it's going to fill your energy stores throughout the day. It's going to give you more clarity and grace, and it's going to allow you to really nurture that compassion for yourself. Now, it's truly the little things that make the biggest difference. But I know you knew that already. Now, the third place, ladies, that we need to lose the weight before it's going to stay off of our bodies is our hearts. Now, we all have, God bless them, well-intentioned people in our lives that helped raise us. Parents and aunts and uncles and society and grandparents. And they lovingly gave us their own ideas about our body, about our weight and what it's supposed to look like, what it's supposed to do, what it means to be a good girl. And we carry this around with us. Now, if ever that we step outside of this ideal image that we have in our minds of who we're supposed to be, and we don't do whatever it is that we think that we're supposed to do, it triggers this sense of shame deep inside our hearts. And then it feels heavy. Now, what I've realized and noticed after working with thousands of women over the years is that we will never be able to shame ourselves into a healthy relationship with food or our bodies. We have to release the weight from our hearts, or else the weight just keeps coming back. Or we live in constant fear that it's going to come back. Now, the first step for releasing weight off of our hearts is by forgiveness. Whew. And it's not just forgiving the people and places and things of our past, right? Forgiving our parents and growing and maturing and having kids ourselves maybe, and looking back and going, all right, well, I guess they did the best that they could. I made mistakes too. That's beautiful. But what I'm going to encourage you to really begin to think deeply about, to make some adjustments in your heart, is finding a place where you can forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for all the times that you tripped out in your mind and thought negatively, for all the punishment that you gave yourself for not being perfect. Forgive yourself for maybe not being at the right place at the right time. Forgive yourself. What I like to do with my clients is place a hand on their heart and hand on their belly and just take a moment to say, I forgive you. I forgive you for ever thinking that you've ever done anything wrong. I forgive you. Just repeat that. Repeat that a few times to yourself each day. It's kind of like a hug, like a nice little hug for the body. You can even go like this if you like. This is very grounding to just touch our bodies and say, I forgive you. Right? This incredible body that's been there through all of it, all of the ups and downs. Everywhere you've gone, your body's been there. Every night you went to sleep, there your body was. Every morning you woke up, there it was again. It's amazing. I forgive you for ever thinking you ever did anything wrong. All right, ladies, let's do a little recap here because I know that we went over a lot. There are 3 places that you must lose weight before the weight is going to stay off of your body. Now, number 1 is in our minds, and it's about that negative thinking. So just say stop and think of what the opposite of that would be. We need to release the weight from our shoulders. Stop doing everything for everybody else. It's okay to have a little bit of time for yourself. 3 minutes in the morning, a few deep breaths. This goes a long way. And number 3 is releasing the weight from our hearts. A little bit of forgiveness for ourselves. All right, you are so amazing. I love you so much, and we will see you next time.